Hi, I'm Maddie Ziegler, and this is the WIRED Autocomplete Interview. This is so weird. I've watched these videos, so now holding it in person is really funny. What is Maddie Ziegler's job? I am a dancer and an actor and a few other things in between. What brand does Maddie Ziegler own? I don't own a brand. I'm trying to think. No, I don't own a brand, but not for long. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Hopefully I'll own a brand in the future. What is Maddie Ziegler's signature move? I feel like it's changed throughout the years. I think when I was younger, I did this switch leap, which I feel like if anyone has seen it on the show that I was on growing up. But I think what became more signature was when I pulled my eye in the chandelier dance. I did a thing like that in behind the curtain. I feel like that was a signature thing. What makes Maddie Ziegler unique in the dance world? My emotion and the way that I have used characters in my different dance pieces is what made me stand out to Sia and why I got that job in the first place. Who was Maddie Ziegler in Pretty Little Liars? Oh my gosh, that is such a flashback. I don't even know if I had a character name. I was a ghost or a spirit or something. That was truly, at the time, one of the best days of my life because I was such a Pretty Little Liars fan. What has Maddie Ziegler been in? I would say more recently, you would know me for maybe a film called The Fallout that I did, or I have a new film coming out called Fitting In, Westside Story. What is Maddie Ziegler's favorite song? That's asking a mom to pick her favorite child, I feel like. I don't know if you could do that. I feel like a song that's on heavy rotation is Sweet Thing by Mary J. Blige. She didn't originate the song, I don't think, but I think it's her cover. Maddie Ziegler, Velma dance scene. I played Velma in Westside Story, and we got to perform the iconic dance at the gym scene from the original film, and it was such an incredible moment. It was obviously directed by Steven Spielberg, and it was choreographed by Justin Peck, and I was so lucky to work with both of them. I think 6 or 7 days to film just that one dance scene. It was a huge production. What makeup does Maddie Ziegler, I'm scared where this is going, use? Oh, I use so many different brands of makeup. I think there's so many different amazing products for different things. I think Charlotte Tilbury is great, Say Beauty is great, Hourglass. I have a bunch of different favorites for sure. What is Maddie Ziegler's zodiac sign? I'm a Libra. I'm not super into signs, but when people who are and they know that I'm a Libra, they're that makes so much sense. Traits of a Libra are just super go with the flow, pretty calm, indecisive, which I'm all those things. When did Maddie Ziegler start dancing? I started dancing when I was 2 years old, and I started competitively dancing when I was 4, so real early. When was Maddie Ziegler on Dancing with the Stars? That was weird. I did not know that was going to happen. I performed on Dancing with the Stars a few times. I did a performance with Sia and Allison Holker, who's an incredible dancer. And then I think I performed with Josh Groban on there. And then I also did a performance with my sister when she was on Dancing with the Stars Junior. I did a little guest trio performance and it was so much fun. Oh, I also did another performance with Alan and Alexis Wren. All of the pro dancers on the show are incredible. I think Val and Jenna, they're a married couple and they're absolutely incredible. I would love to train with both of them. Is Maddie Ziegler on Masked Dancer? Wrong Ziegler, my sister was, but I wasn't. Does Maddie Ziegler like Jenna Ortega? I love Jenna Ortega. She's one of my greatest friends and she's a little angel. And I adore her. I adore working with her, but I also just adore our friendship and I think it's really special. Did Maddie Ziegler perform at Coachella? I did. I recently performed at Coachella this year with Labyrinth and Sia, and it was such a fun experience. It's so crazy for how many times I've performed. I actually get nervous every time before I go on stage, but I think it's more excitement nerves. It's that adrenaline rush. It's just that feeling of the anticipation of going on stage, but the second I hit the stage, I'm so comfortable. Does Maddie Ziegler have tattoos? I do. I have a lot of little tattoos. I think I have about 7. They're all really small because I wanted to make sure that for acting purposes that it would be easier to cover because it's not fun to have to sit in that makeup chair a lot longer to get a bunch of tattoos covered up. But also I love the look of dainty ones, and shout out to Dr. Wu because he's done all my tattoos and I love him. Because I'm indecisive, I didn't want to do anything that I knew I would regret later in life, and I know a lot of people do end up regretting a lot of their tattoos. So I make sure that all of my tattoos are really like personal and sentimental. So the first tattoo I got was my grandma who passed away. I got her name in cursive, and it's also my sister's middle name, so it's like a double meaning. Maddie Ziegler, Bloody Hell. So Bloody Hell is the original title name of a film that I did that premiered at South by Southwest. And now it is called Fitting In, which will be premiering next year in theaters, which is so exciting. I adore the film and put so much of my heart into it, and I can't wait for people to see it. Thank you. How did Maddie Ziegler become famous? I guess on a reality show when I was 7 years old. It's so weird because I hate saying that I'm famous. I think it's just like a really weird concept for me. So yeah, but I guess that's how I got my start. How many turns can Maddie Ziegler do? It depends, because regularly I think I've been able to do probably like 10 turns, but when you wear a tap shoe you can actually do more turns. So I don't know, probably 18, like consecutive pirouettes. I can turn for hours. How many siblings does Maddie Ziegler have? There's lots of those. My sister and I are the only blood, and then there's 7 other ones. How many crowns does Maddie Ziegler have? Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know. I think I had around like 13, 12 or 13. It's so funny because you work your whole life when you're younger for these crowns, and they're all just like these plastic tiaras that actually don't mean anything. So it's really funny how much I cared about it when I was younger, but yeah, they're not important now, but at the time. How old was Maddie Ziegler? Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. In Chandelier. I'm ruining this whole board. I was 11 years old when I did Chandelier. What's funny is when I was filming Chandelier, I remember I flew to LA and did it and had the best time. But when I came back to my dance studio, I told all my friends, just this little video that's gonna come out, no one will see it. I was like, I wore a blonde wig. Like, it was really different and weird at the time. And I never expected it to blow up the way that it did. This is so much easier than I thought it would be. I thought, yeah. Okay. Maddie Ziegler, costumes. I have lots of those. My mom has kept almost all of our dance competition costumes, and she has them in a closet. But I'm so happy I have all. I'm like, you can never get rid of them, like the important ones especially, because I want to be able to look back on them when I'm older, and I don't know, I want my kids to see them. I don't know if I have a favorite. There's so many to choose from. A lot of my lyrical solos that I did were really beautiful costumes with a lot of rhinestones, and I liked them a lot. Maddie Ziegler, Imagination Palette. Yeah, I was so excited to do a makeup collaboration. Makeup is one of my absolute favorite things in the world. So getting to create my own palette, all of the shade names and the colors and the textures and just even the whole creative for the shoot was so much fun, and I had such a great experience. When I was creating the shade names, I think it was kind of a mixture of playing into the concept of the Imagination Palette, and then also I think just a few personal names and things. Like I named a shade after my mom, after my sister, so stuff like that. Maddie Ziegler, knee drop. That was also a very, I guess, signature move that I used to do, which is so funny because if I did that now, my knees would probably break. Basically, you start on one leg and dive onto the other leg and you land on your knee, but the trick is to obviously protect your knee and to land more on the side of your hip. Maddie Ziegler podcast. I had a podcast with my sister called Take 20 for a bit, and that was really fun. We had a great time doing that. And then I've had the pleasure of being on a few other people's podcasts. They're so fun. It's such a good way to have a conversation and dive into some topics that maybe you wouldn't on the everyday basis. Maddie Ziegler, To All the Boys. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. I made a little cameo in one of the To All the Boys movies. I think it was the second film. Yeah, I think I played a cheerleader. I had like one line, but it was fun. I love Lana Condor. I think she's so cute and sweet and super talented, and yeah, it was fun. I actually can breathe now because I thought that was gonna be way more stressful, and I thought you guys were gonna expose me in a lot of ways. No, it's so interesting that a lot of people still wanna know what like my favorite signature dance moves are and stuff like that. I think it's really cool.